Jack Daniels is proudly served in fine establishments, questionable joints, and everywhere in between. So, no matter where you go, in every bar, you'll always know someone by name.
Jack. Jack and Coke?
Shot of Jack?
Jack Daniels, please.
Right away.
That's what makes Jack, Jack.
Please drink responsibly. Responsibility.org. Jack Daniels and Old No. 7 are registered trademarks. Copyright 2025 Jack Daniels. Tennessee whiskey. 40% alcohol by volume. 80 proof.
If your roof starts to leak or your floor's really squeaky, you live in a money pit. Money pit.
If your basement needs a pump or your place looks like a dump, you live in a money pit. Money pit. Pick up the telephone.
Fix up your home sweet home by calling 888-MONEY-PIT.
The Money Pit is presented by Ladera by Pavestone. Now here's Leslie Segretti.
Coast to coast and floorboards to shingles, this is the Money Pit. I'm Leslie Segretti, and I am joined by Jim Kenzie, the best producer and engineer in radio. Hey, Jim.
Hey, I'm going to have to, insert a fanfare or something underneath that.
Dude, don't you know that I just automatically have you sort of paying me to Venmo every week for all these nice comments? So if you want to add audio to that, that sounds great, too.
I could do that. Okay.
Yeah. I'll allow it.
You're a nut job.
Happy Labor Day weekend, everybody. You know, Labor Day, it is a long-honored holiday. It kind of started back in the early 19th century as a means to honor our labor unions and all of the workers across the country. Now, before unions, you guys, we worked 7-day work weeks, and now hopefully we're all enjoying a 40-hour work week, benefits, vacation time, sick leave, paid time off. Hopefully everybody gets the benefits of everyone's hard work before them. So thank you to all of the workers for everything you do every day. And to all my Studio Local 1 and 829 union brothers and sisters out there, I will see you in the studio on Monday. No rest for us. Anywho, we have a great show for you guys this hour as we kick off the official, well, I guess it's official end of summer weekend. Coming up, fall may be about pumpkin spice and cozy sweaters, but it's also the perfect time to prep inside your home and out before the cold weather sets in. So coming up, we're going to share a fall cleanup checklist that will help protect your home, boost your curb appeal, and even save you money through the colder months. From gutters and gardens to garages and gear, we've got the seasonal scoop to help you clean up before you bundle up. And are you looking to turn up the heat in your backyard? Well, a fire pit might be just the spark your space needs. Whether you're dreaming of cozy nights under the stars or a stylish spot to entertain, building a fire pit is easier than you think, and you can do it yourself. Coming up, we're going to share how to build a beautiful, durable fire pit with Pavestone products in just minutes. No fancy tools or cutting required. And also, if your shower has been looking a little worse for the wear, maybe you're spotting some black, gunky mold creeping along the edges of the tub, you are not alone, and no scrubbing is not going to fix it. But don't panic. Coming up, I'm going to walk you through how to safely remove that old moldy caulk, clean and prep that shower surround the right way, and reapply a fresh bead that's not only going to look great, but will resist mold and mildew for years to come. It's easier than you think, and trust me, your bathroom is going to thank you for it. That is all coming up this hour. So give us a call right now to learn something new and to be part of our show. Give us a call at 888-MONEY-PIT. Jim, who's up first?
All right, Leslie, Michelle in Minnesota has a bathroom floor thing going on. That's what I'm going to call it.
Okay.
You've got moisture coming up through the floor? Fill us in.
Yes, it's a laminate floor. This is my third summer in this house, and it's the first time that I've had this issue. And it was started around the warm and humid days. At first, I thought maybe that it was my toilet leaking because I had a new toilet put in last summer. But the plumber did come out and pull the toilet, and it didn't look like it was leaking or that the seal was broken on it. So we're thinking that it's condensation from the concrete slab coming up between the slats of the laminate flooring.
Huh. All right. So I've got to guess. This laminate flooring is on a concrete slab. It's not like you're in a boathouse, right?
Correct, yeah.
So what's happening to the floor, Michelle? Is it warping? Is it showing water stains? Is it deformed in any way? Buckling?
It is not buckling or anything along the edges. He thinks that maybe it's a rubber flooring, more of a rubber-based flooring, rather than a wood. And so it has not curled edges or anything like that. It just seeps up as moisture, and it comes beads up right along the edges of the laminate.
Well, I mean, do you have air conditioning in the bathroom?
I do not. No.
All right. I mean, maybe you would see the moisture if you had like the warm, humid floor with the cool air-conditioned air, and you'd see condensation. But if it's not really doing anything to the floor, that's great. I don't know that it's going to forever not do anything to the floor. So let's try to figure this out. First of all, I want you to take a look at the outside of the house. Let's look at the grading around the foundation and the drainage conditions that are especially, on the exterior near this bathroom. Because if the slab is sucking up a lot of moisture from the ground, then it's going to come up through the floor. That's what you're seeing. So let's look at your gutters and your downspouts. You want to make sure that they're clean, that the water is going through and coming out. And then when the water comes out of the downspouts, where is that water going? You want to make sure that the water is kind of depositing away from the foundation. That's why you see those downspouts kind of kick out 3-5 feet away from the house. And sometimes they go underground, but then you always have to make sure that they're constantly connected and no issues happen there. So let's look at that. Look at the grading. Is the soil sloping away from that foundation, from that slab, or does it kind of slope back towards the foundation? You want it to slope away because the whole goal is to get the moisture away. Now, in that bathroom, I'm guessing you don't have like a vent fan or anything like that. So I would put in a vent fan. I would make sure that you use it. Put it on when you're showering. Leave it on when you're done showering for like 10, 15 minutes and turn it off. Better, you can put in a humidistat that goes with that, dehumidifier vent fan kind of situation, and it will turn off once that humidity has sort of reached a more tolerable level. So it does the work for you. But that's the thing. You have to make sure you're getting that moisture away from that bathroom, away from the ground. And if it is a vinyl floor or a laminate floor or some sort of rubber composite material, it's going to do a good job standing up to the moisture. But if it were if it was like a hardwood, which you shouldn't have in a bathroom, but if it were something that were permeable to the moisture, it would be damaged and it would be an issue, okay?
Mm-hmm, okay.
All right, thanks so much for calling us at 888-MONEY-PIT.
Eczema isn't always obvious, but it's real. And so is the relief from Ebglyss. After an initial dosing phase, about 4 in 10 people taking Ebglyss achieved itch relief and clear or almost clear skin at 16 weeks. And most of those people maintain skin that's still more clear at 1 year with monthly dosing.
Ebglyss, lebrikizumab, LBKZ, a 250 milligram per 2 milliliter injection, is a prescription medicine used to treat adults and children 12 years of age and older who weigh at least 88 pounds or 40 kilograms with moderate to severe eczema, also called atopic dermatitis, that is not well controlled with prescription therapies used on the skin or topicals, or who cannot use topical therapies. Ebglyss can be used with or without topical corticosteroids. Don't use if you're allergic to Ebglyss. Allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Eye problems can occur. Tell your doctor if you have new or worsening eye problems. You should not receive a live vaccine when treated with Ebglyss. Before starting Ebglyss, tell your doctor if you have a parasitic infection.
Searching for real relief? Ask your doctor about Ebglyss and visit ebglyss.lilly.com or call 1-800-LILY-RX or 1-800-545-5979.
Heading down to sunny Florida, Leslie, we've got Glenn. He's standing by with a question regarding termites and insulation. Let's see what's going on there. How can we help out, Glenn?
What I'm trying to find out, our termite pest control has came out with a attic insulation that they say is borax treated. It's a cellulose, and that it should control termites that may get up into the attic. We have a lot of what's called the Formosa termites. I'm just trying to find out, have you heard anything on this? Is it of value to put it in?
Yeah, Glenn, the idea of mixing borax in with your insulation, that's not a new idea. I mean, those products have been around for a long time now. Now, in this case, you've got a pest control company that's obviously trying to do an extension on their existing business, and I get that. They're looking for other ways. So the problem in Florida with Formosa termites is that where they are not subterranean, like we have up here in the north, they come up from out of the ground, and we can treat the perimeter. You have a whole house problem where your termites have got to be treated from the top to the bottom. So I don't know that it's a bad idea. I just don't know how effective overall it's going to be. I mean, it sounds like a good idea. I don't think it's terribly common, but I can't tell you that it's not going to work. I just don't think it's common enough for us to have a strong opinion on whether or not this makes sense to do or not. Certainly homes in Florida with regular inspections can be very well protected against termites. So just because you have this type of insulation that's treated with borax doesn't mean that you should not be having regular termite inspections, because there could be in other places around the property. I mean, you have to stay on top of this. The problem becomes when you don't stay on top, then you get these big surprises. I've seen in Florida when we were filming with HGTV, I've seen these houses that are kind of covered in what looks like a circus tent. And they're usually like the brightest, most ridiculously striped, colored looking tents ever, where they kind of, insect bomb the entire property. Right. You don't want that to be your house, Glenn. You want to be the house that's like, whoa, thank God that's not me, looking up at the neighbors. Right. So regular inspections, regular treatment, that's really going to be your best defense first to avoid the big top. All right.
Yeah, see, I want to pull up a lawn chair and watch them put up a tent on the neighbor's house.
I'm always amazed how they're like, it's almost like a slipcover. Like everything's like fit perfectly.
See, Glenn, you could be selling lemonade and parking even. Hopefully we helped you out.
All right. Well, you've given me a lot of good information to go on. I appreciate the call.
Hey, you're tired of living in a money pit? Well, we're here to help. And if you want us to help out, it would be awesome if you could leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Just go to moneypit.com/review. It's only going to take a minute, and it means the world to us. Well, with this being the unofficial end of summer, it's time to get into that fall decor mentality. And guess what, guys? I am 100% here for it. So this fall, it's all about deep warmth with a modern edge. So think rusted terracotta, warm taupe, golden ochre, and even moody forest greens kind of paired with a matte black or a rich navy. If you're looking for an easy way to update the look, you can swap out your throw pillow covers, you can add a warm toned area rug, or even try my favorite peel and stick wallpaper. And it could be in like an ombre of a trending hue. These are just small changes that will go a long way to give your space a cozy autumn refresh. So give it a try. Who's got an end of summer project they need a hand with? Jim, who's on the line?
Well, Leslie, this is the time of year to be outside enjoying your property, and Grace would like to do that, but she has some patio concerns. What's happening out there, Grace?
We have a patio that's 40 years old. It's concrete. It has soldier edge bricking all the way around it, but some of the portions have raised and are actually a little dangerous, and some of the portions also have just turned color. In short, it's an ugly patio. What are our options, and whom do we call?
I mean, Grace, the good news here is that you have a patio with the soldier's edge around it, which is nice, and that just means that the brick is sort of turned sort of vertically as the border of the patio. So it's kind of perpendicular to the way the patio goes. And that can be beautiful, but if they're falling off and they're kind of dangerous, you want to kind of actually, maybe if possible, think about restoring, where you kind of remove the loose bricks and remortar those in place. Maybe that could be enough to kind of fix the unevenness or that feeling of spots being dangerous. The concrete that's in the center of this brick, you could put a finish on. You could put a stone veneer on top. If you're redoing the border anyway, you can bump up the border to kind of match whatever stone veneer you're putting on top of the concrete, or a paver. Or if you're able to restore the soldiered brick, you can go ahead and put a treatment or a finish on top of that concrete to make it look like, I don't know, like an acid-stained concrete or a terrazzo or even a slate. There's so many different ways that you can finish that patio surface. It could be pretty nice.
What about those thin pavers made by Pavestone?
I mean, a thin paver is fantastic sort of in a situation like this, where you're trying to go over something that exists. Maybe you're trying to inset something into a border that's a little bit raised. It kind of matches that difference. It's lightweight. It's easier to work with. So there's a couple of options when you're thinking about what you can put on top of that concrete patio. But for starters, I would really take a look at that border and see if it's salvageable. If it's original to the time period of the home, it could be kind of not valuable, but certainly interesting and timely and sentimental. And maybe you don't want to get rid of it and you want to try to repair it. But I would take a look at that first, because that should give you an idea of which direction you have to go in versus which direction you want to go in. All right. Thanks so much for calling us at 888-MONEY-PIT. Well, fall is a favorite season for many, but if you're a homeowner, it's also a crucial time to tackle a seasonal cleanup that protects your investment and keeps everything running smoothly through winter. So let's start outside, where nature does a number on your home this time of year. So let's look at the things. Let's talk about cleaning your gutters. You know, the falling leaves are lovely until they clog the gutters and the downspouts, and a backed up gutter can lead to water damage, ice dams, and even foundation issues. So you want to scoop out the debris, flush them with water, and check that those downspouts are directing water at least 3 feet away from the foundation. Now, with your lawn and garden, let's talk about a reset. You want to give your yard a healthy head start for spring by doing a final mow, raking up the leaves, aerating the surface if needed, and it's also a great time to feed your lawn fall fertilizer because that will help strengthen the roots. And in the garden, you want to pull out spent plants and store away the hoses, the pots, and the tools properly so that you prevent damage and you'll be able to use them come springtime. Next, you want to inspect and clean all of that outdoor equipment. So drain and store your garden hoses, clean off the lawn equipment. If you have gas-powered tools like trimmers or mowers, you can empty that fuel tank or add a stabilizer to help prevent damage during the winter months, and cover and store the furniture to protect it from moisture and freezing temps. Now, the garage and the shed, you kind of want to prep it for the season at hand. So think about rotating out that summer gear and bringing all the fall-winter stuff to the front. You can check your snow shovels, the snow blowers, even the ice melt now, so you're not kind of scrambling during the first frost when you actually need it. And while you're at it, you can sweep out the leaves and critter-proof that space by sealing up all of those gaps. Now, some indoor tasks that are worth doing early. You want to check and replace your HVAC filter so that your system runs efficiently as the temperature drops. It's also a good time to clean your dryer vents, reverse the ceiling fan to winter mode, and check your smoke and carbon monoxide detectors. Bonus tip here, if you walk your home's exterior, look for cracked caulk, loose siding, anything that could kind of let moisture in, because every little bit of effort now avoids costly repairs later. I mean, fall cleanup isn't just about tidying up. It's about protecting, preserving, and prepping for what's ahead. So grab that rake, fire up the leaf blower, and take a few hours this weekend to get ahead of the chill and get those, Halloween decorations going. I'm only partly joking. I'm going to allow the first day of fall. I'll give you to September 21st, but then after that, Halloween. All right? All right, Jim, let's get back to the phones.
All right, Leslie, let's welcome in Wally, who's working on a sunroom project. Tell us about it, Wally. How can we help out?
I'm redoing my sunroom, and it's a concrete floor, and it's pretty old. There's some cracks in there that if I put down a floor over top of it like I plan to do, I'm worried that it's going to be very uneven and the floor won't last very long.
Hey, Wally. So I think first off, changing the flooring in there is a great idea. Putting something on top of it, like a luxury vinyl plank, is going to be a great solution for that space. Now, that kind of floor is a good choice because it floats on top of the existing slab. So it really shouldn't be impacted by any of the cracks that you're describing. That said, we want to make sure that we're reducing the chances of any moisture kind of working up through those. So go ahead and seal those. There's a number of different types of products that you can use, and it's really dependent on the size of the crack. If it's small, you can use silicone. There are some patching compounds that you could use. If they're slightly bigger or deep, you would want to fill that crack first with a backer rod and then seal the area on top of that. Now, in addition to those luxury vinyl planks you spoke of, there's a type of product called hybrid stone. Different brands, different manufacturers. I mean, it kind of looks like a little bit of a stiffer plank than the vinyl would be. It's attractive. It could be slightly uneven. So if you do end up with some uneven areas, in the slab, you may see it a little bit with the vinyl plank. But with a hybrid stone type of plank, they're much more rigid, so you probably wouldn't see any slight differences in the floor below. There's a lot of different options out there. I would definitely head over to a local home center, explain that you're looking at, for something that'll work well on potentially an uneven-ish concrete slab, and they'll show you those two options and kind of feel them, bend them, see what you get. Make sure you find out about any necessary underlayment, and make sure you mention that it's going on a concrete because moisture texture is going to be the issue here just because it's so hydroscopic. But great flooring choices for that area, and will definitely improve your usage of that sunroom space and kind of give it a more homey feel. So good luck with that project.
Attention security, we've got a flooring feeler in aisle 7.
Stop touching the flooring, Wally.
Lowe's knows tough jobs call for tougher tools. The new DeWalt Elite Series power tool accessories are built to last for the pro who doesn't stop. With precision fitment, durability, and impact resistance, finishing jobs faster has never been easier. Shop the new DeWalt Elite Series at an everyday low price exclusively at Lowe's. We help, you save.
Introducing the perfect companion to your morning listening routine. AG1's clinically backed formula is now flavor-packed with 3 new delicious flavors: tropical, berry, and citrus. Start the day on a high note with probiotics that taste like the tropics. Mix it up with micronutrients that taste like berry or citrus. And take it all the way back with the classic AG1 Original with notes of pineapple and vanilla. Do your health a flavor, or 4, with AG1 Next Gen, the daily health drink. Learn more at drinkag1.com.
Hey guys, I'm looking forward to the longer evenings making their way soon, but before daylight starts fading, check your indoor lighting. You want to swap harsh white bulbs for warm white or soft amber tones to create a cozy evening glow. And you want to add layered lighting with plug-in sconces or even battery-powered LED candles, no wiring needed. Bonus points for smart bulbs you can dim or schedule to match your mood. I love it. Well, if you've been thinking about adding a fire pit to your outdoor space, there's no better time than right now. It's one of the most rewarding DIY projects that you can tackle, offering warmth, ambiance, and that irresistible s'mores factor. And with the help of Pavestone, building one is faster and easier than ever. So here's what you got to do first. Know your why. Before you start building blocks, ask yourself, what's my main goal here? Am I looking for a cozy place to gather, a decorative focal point, maybe something functional for like a light grilling? Your purpose is going to help guide key decisions like where you put it, what size to build it, what shape fits best. And let's not forget, it's going to add real value to your property as well. Now, the second step here is picking the right materials. For a sleek, modern fire pit, concrete wall blocks are definitely the way to go. A square fire pit is especially popular right now and creates clean lines that visually extend your indoor living space outdoors. Now, you can use Ladera wall block or the versatile Rumblestone wall system to build yours, and you can top it off with a Pavestone fire pit insert, which acts as a heat barrier to protect that structure. Now, the next step is sort of thinking about it before you build it. The location matters a lot. You want to avoid placing your fire pit too close to your home, the fence, overhanging trees, even shrubs, and you want to be sure to check with your local municipality. Permits or placement rules may apply. And beyond safety, the placement will influence the size and the function. Will it be the centerpiece of your yard or a cozy corner retreat? Now, the next step to sort of think about here is, can you do it yourself? You totally can. This is definitely a DIY project. You don't need to be a pro. With Ladera blocks, there's no cutting. There's no complicated measuring. Each block has a different face pattern and false joints to kind of give you that custom look. You just apply Pavestone block and paver adhesive or even Quikrete construction adhesive. You stack the blocks, you level them, and you are done. Really, it can take less than 5 minutes to build, and you add that fire ring insert, some lava rock, and you have an eye-catching fire feature. And the best part is these are built to last, but they are easy to relocate. Concrete blocks are weather tough and durable, but because the system isn't mortared into the ground, it can be moved later if you want to change that outdoor layout, and that means your fire pit evolves with your space. The bottom line here is that this is a quick weekend project with long-lasting benefits, whether you're hosting friends, spending time with your family, or just unwinding after a long day. If you want to see how this project is done, you can head to pavestone.com/retaining walls and watch the step-by-step video on building a fire pit with Ladera wall block. You will be surprised at just how simple it can be. This is a perfect project that you will enjoy all fall. All right, Jim, who has a project we can lend a hand to?
Pat in Arkansas is dealing with a humid house. What's happening, Pat?
Well, I have a new heat pump, and it's not taking out the humidity. Of course, I live in a humid area, but I just wondered, it's supposed to take out the humidity, as I understood.
So, Pat, I mean, generally with heat pumps, which are similar to air conditioners like a central AC kind of dehumidifies in the process of cooling. But dehumidifying is not like the main thing. Like I have a split ductless system in my studio. So it cools, it heats, and it also has a dehumidify feature. But the dehumidify feature is so effective that I never have to put the air conditioner on because it just takes the moisture out. It keeps it nice and cool. But a heat pump on its own without a cooling feature or without a dehumidification feature will not do that. If you have an HVAC system, you could have a dehumidifier built into that duct system, and that would by far be the most effective because its sole purpose would be to dehumidify the air, everything that goes through that whole HVAC system. It would pull the moisture out of that. And generally, I mean, it is a ridiculous amount of water that it pulls out of the air on a daily. I want to say it's like 90 pints of water. That's a lot. So they work terrifically. I think Tom had one in his system. I have a steam system at home, so I don't have a built-in dehumidifier. But I think Tom had one by Santa Fe. You know, there's a variety of manufacturers out there, but it gets built into your HVAC system, and it does a tremendous job of getting rid of all of that moisture. And if you have the ability to add this, it's way better than putting a standalone unit, which you're constantly monitoring the water, emptying the bucket. It's only taking out a little bit in a certain surrounding area. So if you can, look at the whole house dehumidifier. It goes right into the HVAC system. I have no idea how much they cost. It could be that there might be some tax benefits of having one, some rebates, whatnot. Always look into that when you're purchasing anything for the house because you never know. But that's going to do the trick.
Okay. What is the average humidity supposed to be in the house?
Yeah, on average, the humidity at home should be 30 to 50%. So like 40% in the neighborhood. And if you have a dehumidifier built into the system with the humidistat, it will get you to that exact point all the time.
All righty. Well, I thank you so much.
All right. Thanks so much for calling us, Pat. Good luck. Well, as soon as those kids are off to school next week, let's really dive into this fall takeover at home. You want to give your entry a mini makeover. You want to clear out those summer flip-flops and beach bags and make room for jackets and boots. You can add a textured doormat in a fall color, a stylish umbrella stand, and a woven basket for grab-and-go essentials. It's practical, it's pretty, and it sets the tone for fall as soon as you walk through the door. All right, I love this so much. Well, if your shower is looking a little fuzzy in the corners, chances are you've been dealing with moldy caulk. Now, it's a super common problem. It's caulk, it's constantly getting wet, and that can easily grow mold or mildew. And once it gets inside, no matter the amount of scrubbing you're doing is going to bring it back. But here's the good news. You can fix it, and it's not as intimidating as it sounds. So let's walk through the steps of getting your shower looking fresh and clean again and staying that way. First up, you've got to remove the old caulk. You just need to get rid of it. You'll need a utility knife or a specialized caulk removal tool. You carefully run that blade along the edges of the caulk bead, and then you peel it away. This is super fun. It's kind of gross on the backside, but it is kind of a very rewarding project. Take your time because it's important here to get as much of it out as possible so that that new caulk can adhere properly. If you are struggling and it's super stuck and it's stubborn, you can soften that old caulk with a gel caulk remover. It's available at any home center. You just let it sit for a few hours and then you try again. Now, once it's all out, you've got to clean and prep. That's the next step. You've got to clean that surface well, and you want to scrub that seam with a mixture of vinegar and baking soda, or you can use a mold and mildew cleaner if things are kind of extra grimy. Then you wipe everything down with rubbing alcohol to remove any soap scum or residue, and then you have to make sure that everything is completely dry before you move on to caulking. Moisture is the enemy here of good adhesion. Now, this is a step I like to do. Tom was always very skilled with the finger method of putting a perfect bead of caulk and making it look nice and straight. I tend to get caulk everywhere, and I make a giant mess. So I like to tape off the area. You use painter's tape to mask off straight, clean lines on either side of where that caulk will go, on the tub surface or on the shower floor and on the wall. It makes that final result so much neater. And if you are a first-time caulker, or if you are an experienced caulker like myself who's just messy, you will be very happy with this. So once it's taped off, you apply the new caulk. And you want to use a tub and tile caulk that's mold and mildew resistant, and make sure that it's 100% silicone, because that's going to hold up best in wet areas. You cut the tip of the tube at a 45-degree angle, load it into the caulking gun, and apply a steady pressure, which can be tricky. I mean, sometimes you get little bubbles, and that's fine. And you draw that bead across the seam and take your time. Now, once it's laid down, you smooth the bead with a damp finger, a caulking tool, even an ice cube. That's going to give you a nice clean finish. And you remove the tape when the caulk is still wet. Now, you have to let it cure. And this is like the hardest part, because now you're waiting. You want it just to be done. Now, all of a sudden, you have to take a shower. No, you have to wait, guys. You need to let it cure. And most silicone caulk will cure in about 24 hours before you can expose it to water. And that's it. I mean, just a few tools and a little patience, your shower is going to look brand new and stay fresh and mold-free for the long haul. And this is a project that I am currently in need of tackling at my home. And I mean, it's probably been about 15 years since I last did this.
Wow.
So I would say it's stood up very, very well. And I think maybe I should post some videos of me doing this, because I'm serious. I make a giant mess. I don't know why. It's 2 tools, and it's like somehow it's like all over my arms.
It is a great DIY project, though.
But it's super easy, and it will make you feel very good about what you've accomplished. So we'll see. Maybe I'll embarrass myself and post that tape, and you guys will be like, what? We listen to this lady? Yeah, you listen to me, and I still make a mess, and that's fine. But we do it together. All right?
Nice.
Jim, who's up next?
Greg in Delaware, you've got Leslie Segretti on the Money Pit. How can we help out today?
I just moved into a house in Milford, Delaware, and I have a line scale buildup on my shower door from the previous owners. And I tried every chemical possible, Kaboom and CLR, and it was ineffective. I wanted to know what's the best solution or the best tool I can use to get line scale buildup off a glass shower door.
All right. Well, congrats on the new house there in Milford. You know, lime scale, if it's actually lime scale, would kind of respond to all of those treatments. It could be something else, because the things that you're using are very effective at getting rid of lime scale buildup. Try this as a test. If you try just some vinegar, put it on there like a white vinegar, maybe saturate a sponge, soak it, and just sit it on what you're calling this lime scale, it should instantly melt it. If that's in fact really lime or calcium, it will just get rid of it immediately, and then you rinse it off. If not, I wonder if there's just something else on the door.
Oh, what else could it be?
I mean, depending on the type of cleaners that people have used in the past, they can actually etch that door, scratch the surface if they've been using maybe an abrasive, and then you're kind of seeing a fog across it, and maybe it looks like a lime scale buildup, but it's just the surface is damaged and doesn't look great. I would try the vinegar test, see what happens. And then, hopefully that works and it's gone and you've got a great new shower there that's all clean and ready. But if it is something that's etched to the surface, I hate to say it, you're going to have to replace it.
Okay, I definitely will.
All right, well, good luck with that. Let us know what's happening and how we can help further. And thanks so much for calling us at 888-MONEY-PIT.
Abercrombie is an official fashion partner of the NFL, and I'm CeeDee Lamb, wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys. You know I'm here for Abercrombie's Cowboys gear. That's not a question. But I need a whole wardrobe to go with it. No shade to the guys, but I'm used to having the best tunnel fits. This season, Abercrombie has me covered. Shop NFL by Abercrombie in the app, online, and in store.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. Checking off the boxes on your to-do list is a great feeling. And when it comes to checking off coverage, a State Farm agent can help you choose an option that's right for you. Whether you prefer talking in person, on the phone, or using the award-winning app, it's nice knowing you have help finding coverage that best fits your needs. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
This is always, a sad kind of time of year, Jim. It's like, I'm excited the kids are going back to school
They're definitely not excited, but I'm also sad because it's sort of, the year's coming to an end soon and everybody's getting so much bigger and you just kind of definitely feel the passing of time more. And we're so into this college search right now for Henry that it's all a little sad. But it's also super happy at the same time. So I'm trying my best to enjoy it. How about you?
Well, maybe you should get a border collie instead of a melancholy. I'm here all week, folks.
Try the veal?
Try the veal, yeah. Knew that was coming.
All right. Well, let's do something special here. Let's jump into the emails. I know we get a lot and we don't always get a chance to answer them. So who is on deck today?
Well, David wrote into the Money Pit, and he says, my crawl space insulation is falling and drooping. Can I pull down the old insulation and just insulate the crawl space walls? Also, I have 6 vents in my foundation. Can you give me a rundown on how to use those and when?
All right. Well, those are good questions, David. So first, the fact that your insulation is falling out and drooping isn't a reason to remove it. The right place for your floor insulation is in between the floor joists that are right above your head in the crawl space. And the fact that the insulation that's there is not properly supported doesn't mean get rid of it. It just means you need a better way to support that insulation. But typically it's done with wires that are slightly longer than the space between the standard, say 16 or 24 inch on center joist spacing would be. And it's not completely falling apart or getting wet and nasty and gross looking, then you can kind of just push it back up and better support it. The pack of wires is pretty inexpensive. You just go ahead and press it into place about every 12 inches, and it just kind of holds itself in place with, the pressure between the 2 joists, and it kind of just wedges itself in there and holds those bats up. Now, if you do have to replace it, you might want to think about using thermal fiber instead of fiberglass. Thermal fiber is great for a crawl space, and it's more moisture resistant. It's also stiffer, sort of in the sense that when you push it up into that space in the joist, it can kind of support itself. So it just doesn't have as much flex or as movement as the fiberglass insulation does. You still would want to put the wires there, but it kind of gives you a head start into how well it's going to be staying up. You can put insulation on the crawl space walls. There's a special type of blanket, but it's not going to replace what you would put on the floor, and your flooring was super cold and uncomfortable. Now, is the question for those foundation vents. Those foundation vents really should be open about 9 months of the year, and the reason you have those foundation vents is because when there's moisture in that crawl space, you want that moisture to be able to vent with the outside air. Typically, if you live, say, in the Northeast, you would close those vents maybe like November, December, January, or maybe just even December and January, kind of the coldest months of the year. But is when you would close them when it's super cold. But for the rest of the year, you do want to vent that space. You do want to let that moist air out. And that's exactly what those foundation vents do. So I wouldn't get rid of them altogether. I wouldn't close them up permanently because you do need them. So hopefully that helps. And we wish you lots of luck in that crawl space, David. All right. Thanks so much. Well, that's all the time we have for this hour of the Money Pit. Thanks so much for joining us. We started by tackling that pesky, moldy bathroom caulk, how to remove it, clean it up, and reapply for a fresh, watertight seal. Then we took it outside with a cozy DIY fire pit project. Thanks to our friends at Pavestone, it is easier than you think to add warmth and style to your backyard. And finally, we shared a few smart fall fix-ups to wrap up the summer and get your home in tip-top shape for the season ahead. From sealing to setting to storing, there's always something you can do to protect your investment and enjoy your home to the fullest. And remember, you can do it yourself, but you don't have to do it alone. See you next time.
On the Money Pit Radio Show. On the Money Pit Radio Show. Pick up the telephone. Fix up your home sweet home by calling 888-MONEY-PIT. Woo!
The road is calling. Embrace the thrill of the drive with the fully electric Audi Q6 e-tron. Featuring effortless power and advanced Audi tech, the next chapter of Audi is here.
When life gets ahead of your list, just tap Target. Between juggling school schedules, surprise messes, and tag team baby duty, life has a way of throwing you off.
Honey, we're low on diapers and wipes.
And toilet paper.
And cat food.
But what they don't know is you already knew. With Target Circle 360 same-day delivery, it's already on the way. Delivery when you want it with Target Circle 360. Just tap Target. Membership required. Subject to terms and conditions. Applies to orders over $35.